Good morning, everyone. All right, we've got a really quick video here. This is based on a couple emails that I've gotten from people about the transfer process. And this isn't specifically about the transfer process. This is how you hold your tiles together when you're using Rapid Resizer and you've got a bigger image and they print out an 8.5 by 11 tiles. And in this particular case, I'm printing out on that label backer stock. The problem with that is the shiny side, nothing wants to stick to it. That's the whole idea. The actual image, it transfers because it doesn't stick to the shiny side. So how do you hold those tiles together? And I played around with a lot of different ways. I've used packing tape, I've used Scotch tape, I've used this little crafter's tape, which is like a roll-on two-sided little glue. But I've kind of, again, I've done this a lot of times, and I'm kind of still learning as I'm going through, but I think I've got it down to where it works pretty well. And I haven't showed this for a while, shown this for a while. So I want to kind of go through that. I'm not going to do a transfer here. I'm just going to show you how I go about trimming these down and then putting them together so that they stay together all as one piece when you tip it over and do the transfer. So, babe, if you can come down here. And these others.
No, that's good. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, and we didn't think about that, but this is obviously the shiny side. That's the side that you want to print on. We've done a lot of videos on this Inkjet Transfer. But anyway, so what I've kind of discovered over time is that these come with like a 1/2 inch margin. That's the way we set it up in Rapid Resizer. So you want to trim these off so that they can go together. They'll have an overlap and then they can go together. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to trim off the leading edge going into the next piece that is your transfer. Now this is a round. This is obviously is the triple L that sign, and this is a smaller version of the one that we actually did. This is just an image that I thought would work well for this demonstration. But let's say, for instance, this was a long piece. Then what I would do is I would trim off again the leading edge of where my image is going. Being as this is a round image, the leading edge would be here, 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 and here, so that they'll all kind of go together. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these off. I've got my paper cutter over here, and I'm just trimming that leading edge margin off, and then I'm going to trim the top off just somewhere around 1 inch. I'm just eyeballing that just to kind of make it, but that would depend also on your board, on how big your board is. You definitely want your image, when it's all together, you definitely want it smaller than your board, at least by 1 inch or so, so that you can have room to tape it down. Okay, so that goes there. Oh, I didn't do the top part. Sorry. I'm kind of freewheeling here. That isn't the same, but
it doesn't matter, huh?
It really won't matter. So again, this is a leading edge going into the next part of the image, and I'm just trimming right on that dotted line or thereabouts, close to it. Again, just somewhere around 1 inch. And then leading edge is here.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How come you didn't do the leading edge on the top of that last one? The last one. That one.
Here? I did. This was the leading edge.
But what about when it comes up to the top of this one?
This will overlap here.
Okay, that was my question.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that way
I knew
one
that,
of the edges,
but just in case somebody else
one of those edges are gone. So yeah, I'm using the term leading edge, but that may not be the terminology that you would regularly want to use. I very, very often use wonky terminology.
Eric-isms.
Yeah. All right, so now how do we stick these together? Now, what I found over time is that, again, nothing wants to stick to the shiny side. So what I will do, I'm going to move this down just so I'm not so far away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Scotch tape. I'm going to get that where I want it to be. I'm going to slide that margin underneath there. Line it up. Now what I want to do is, because the back side is not shiny or sticky, the back side will work. So here, let's just do it this way. There's any number of different ways you can do it, but again, remember, the back side of this is just regular paper, so it's not shiny. So that tape will, so that gives us a sticky part there. And then what I can do is put another one up underneath here. Now, you will have to remember that wherever you have that tape, when you do your transfer, it won't transfer quite as good as where you don't have the tape. So, here. Gosh, I'm making this look a lot more complicated than it really is. All right. Stick with me, guys. It doesn't appear like I know what I'm doing, but actually, I'm able to make it work. All right. So now, I've just got a piece of tape there. Put this in place, and I'm going to press down right where that is. And even though that's my fingerprint there, the image will still come out fine. All right, so let's do this over here.
It's where a little bit of fingernail would come in handy.
Yeah. And I don't have much of those. Oh boy, that wasn't what I really wanted to do. I wanted to put that on this piece.
You're trying to hurry.
Yeah, I am, and I'm trying to go too fast and not really think. This really is something you have to think a lot about in order to get this right. But here's the big thing: just don't touch that image with your fingers if you can help it. All right, so let's see if we can put that in place. And then once you get every piece in place there where you want it to go, then you can add some stuff. Add some extra tape and stuff. Let's see if we can do this long one here.
You cut the wrong thing off.
I guess I did. I'm going to make it work though. Watch, you guys. I will make this work. And that one just broke loose.
Well, see, it's nice to see that you're not the only one that...
Yeah, it's a tricky deal. Now, even though... Alright, so even though this is a sticky side, sometimes you can get something to stick. And this is a big empty space. So you can get that to stick. It just doesn't want to stick really well. Alright, so let's see if we can... I'm going to rotate this. Again, trying not to touch.
Can you cut off that edge there? Cut off that. Right. No, not that. That one. That line.
Here?
Yeah.
Well, I could, but then there would be nothing to feed under. It would be
gotcha.
Margin to margin. But what I can do, I could cut that off, so that's out of my way. Hopefully, theoretically.
Oh, look at you.
So that's the idea. Now that you got it in place, you can go ahead and put some tape on the on the slick side.
It's funny because it looks like it's kind of a pain in the bum, and I'm sure it's not easy. But I think just because you're trying to film it, it's
of course it's going to mess up.
But normally you don't have a problem at all.
Yeah, normally it just goes like clockwork because there's no
pressure,
no camera going. Yeah, of course. All right. I think you guys kind of get the idea. It's a pretty good match. This is not too bad. And again, I'll put a piece on the shiny side, even though that doesn't stick near as well as it does on the back side. And being out here, that's beyond where the image is, so that doesn't really matter. This doesn't really matter, because that's, again, not part of the image. So every image is going to be different. And this, it's kind of wonky, but that should pretty much hold together as you turn it over. And that should transfer pretty well. So that's kind of the idea,
So then you
guys.
would, what, maybe just put some extra tape on there? Or?
Yeah, you'd put some extra tape in here, you know, where you want it. That's already transferring to the other side, so I don't want to do it too much. But then when you go to, and I probably don't have my, oh, I can use this. Oh, no, there it is. So then when you go to do this, you want to be careful not to go that way to peel this up. And you could put, again, a piece of tape right there. Hold that down. And again, guys, every image is different, so it might be a little bit different. But the thing to remember is the tape sticks much better to this back side of this. And whether you're using freezer paper or whether you're using the label backer stock that I'm using, I'm sure that's probably transferred a little bit. I knew it would. But so that's the idea, guys. You can temporarily stick there even though it's slick. I've tried this before, and this is great for what I've been using it for lately, to stick down your layout templates. You guys probably already seen that video where you're sticking down your layout templates, but it doesn't work real well here. I've tried it. It's not my favorite. The actual Scotch tape works better. So anyway, guys, I hope this helps. I wish I'd had a little bit better demo, but you can see we're all on the struggle train. So I'm no different than you guys. I struggle with this stuff too. And people say, well, is it really worth it doing the transfer this way? I believe it is. And a lot of guys, a lot of you like the carbon paper and using a pencil or a pen and the carbon paper. I'm way past that. I don't think I would use that anymore. You know, every situation is a little bit different, but that is never, to me, that never gives you a perfect transfer like the actual image itself. So even though you may have to draw stuff in because it didn't transfer as well as you'd like, I still like this process much better than the carbon paper. And then of course there is the lacquer thinner and the laser jet, and that works really well too. So you know, many of you, but I don't use a laser jet printer very much, and some of you like the laser jet and the media are using like lacquer thinner, acetone, that kind of thing. But anyway, guys, that is it for this one. Just a real quick one. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please email me, eric@makeawoodsign.com. If you have questions for the lovely assistant camera lady, vickywithdavesigns@gmail.com. There's the website where we have our supplies. And again, guys, if you're brand new, just as a kind of a reminder, we don't make a lot of money on the videos. Where we actually are able to keep doing what we do is we are funded by the fact that we have a whole thousands of products over on the website where we sell sign carving supplies. So we would love to be your supplier of sign carving supplies. And we so appreciate you watching. We so appreciate your support. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.